There he is.
Hello, hello.
Holy shit, you look like you've been beaten up for some reason.
I don't know. Just got back from walking the dog.
It's blistering hot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's terror. It's like it just rained here.
Yeah.
It wasn't rainy, but it's just so like
So muggy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had a good call. She was just on the phone. She wasn't at her computer, so I said I'd just send her the deck. But I told her like there's a link to the website, and so I'm anxious to hear what she says about the stuff. I told her about the testing and some of the use case stuff that we were getting back. Played up complimenting her on her idea for the military and seniors and stuff like that. So, because it's funny, I told her about the nighttime prayers, bedtime prayer thing.
Yeah.
And she said, she's like, oh, that's a great idea. She goes, she goes, I would actually just reskin the whole thing. Like once you work out all the bugs, like get this one up and running and going and everything's working. She goes, you should just reskin it completely. So it's not like a combination of stories and prayers. She goes, just do it something, it's the same functional thing, but just reskin for prayers and market it. She goes like in the US, like the
church groups,
they love their Jesus and whatever. Like she goes, it'd probably be huge.
Yeah, you can make a Spanish version and just make a killing on it.
Yeah, exactly. Send it to the Philippines and I don't know. Anyway, so that was another good idea. So some of the information she gave me, so she's telling me about all the nightmares she's having with her website replatforming.
Mm-hmm.
So she's saying probably for now we won't put it on the site, but she does her weekly newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
She sends out a newsletter every Monday. It goes to between 70 and 80,000 people, and she has a 20 to 30% open rate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So those are, whatever that math is. So at 20% on 70, you're looking at what, 14,000 to 24,000 people a week opening the newsletter. So that's good. She also said she could put it on Instagram, which we know she's got 247,000 followers, and she could set it up with a swipe up feature.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that takes you right to the sales page. So she's happy to do that. I don't know. She didn't really say but a bunch of times, like whatever, as many times as we need. Now she did talk about. I told her we were just in the final stages of our testing.
Yep.
So she goes, okay, well, you might be better. She says, well, do you want to do testing first with a smaller group? So I was asking her. I said, yeah. Well, I was wondering about like how you have your list segmented. Like, can you send it to a smaller group? Can you do like A/B testing and stuff? She says, yeah, she can do all kinds of stuff like that. Like she's got segments for. I wrote that down. She was talking about just she's got different segmentations. I don't think I wrote that down. I don't remember.
So she's able to basically send it to a smaller portion of the list.
Yeah, because she goes, yeah, you definitely want to make sure everything is 100%, because she goes, they will crucify you if she's done things with testing. Like she goes, we're calling for beta testers where you want 25 people or 50 people or 100 people. And then she goes, she's done contests too, where it's like, sign up to be a beta tester and enter a draw. So it's like $150 or $100 gift certificate to that whole group. One person wins the gift certificate, because you can get great feedback that way. But she goes, you want to make sure everything's perfect, because once you launch out to the masses, if anything, especially if you're charging them for it, anything that doesn't work smoothly, they'll just rip you to shreds.
Wow, it makes me feel warm and fuzzy right now.
Yeah. So I said, that's a good point. So I don't know if it's something maybe we test with my brother's audience first, with his 1,500 people on Instagram, before we even go into Amy's audience. And then she also said she thinks Pinterest would be good for this, but she said with Pinterest, it's a much slower burn. is what is the terminology she said. So like, but you go like it sticks there longer, but it just takes longer to get traction. But it's so it's you know, you don't have, it's not like Instagram where it's like you got to do something like every day or every week to keep it fresh. Like things just sit on Pinterest and they get activity over a longer period of time.
That's a great idea.
Her lead time is very short. Like she goes, I do my newsletter every Monday, and she goes, I literally am finishing it on Monday. But like if you sent me stuff on Sunday for Monday, I could make it work. So that's good.
So we provide her copy.
Yeah, we didn't really work out. I said, let me send you the deck and you can look at the stuff that's on there, and then we can figure out where to go from there. She also talked about an app that she bought, like, because we were talking about, I said, one of my hesitations of doing something for free, because she was saying, again, she brought up the, what if you did something free where it was like, you can have 2 or 3 stories on there for free. And then if you want to add more stories, then you have to pay. I said, well, yeah, we've had some feedback like that. We've thought about that. The biggest challenge is the platform we're using. It adds a lot of complexity to how the app would need to be built to do that. And I said, you know, the other thing is, you know, if somebody gets it for free, they're not committed to using it as much as if they pay for it, even if it's only a few dollars. And she said, yeah, she actually bought an app called Artkive, Artkive, which is on the App Store, which basically it's similar to this in that you're just taking pictures of your kids' artwork though, and like creating collections and things. But she said she downloaded it because she was going to do something with it, and then she never got around to actually using it. But it was free. It's in-app purchases, so I don't know what exactly the things are. I didn't really have time to look into it. But when I looked on the App Store for Artkive, like it was a free app to download, but there's other apps on there that were $3.99 and $4.99.
Yeah,
that were in the same range. Yeah. So I started talking about affiliate programs. She goes, well, for apps and things, I don't really make much, but she goes, like for anything affiliate, you got to be between 10 and 20% at least. And I said, yeah, well, we were looking at 30%. So I gave her, I said, it's going to cost us say $2 per app. We're selling it for $5. That leaves $3. And we were looking at splitting that. So that's 50% of the profit, but it's 30% of the price.
Yeah.
So she thought that was actually pretty good. From her standpoint, that was like really rich compared to what she was talking about. So I think that was good news.
That's very good news.
Because I said, it adds up. Like if you sell 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000, like it all adds up fairly quickly. Newsletter. Oh yeah, she said when she does Instagram posts, she likes to ask people very specific questions to get engagement. Like so, like she was saying, like, would you use this app for? She was just making stuff up, but like for when your parents are over looking after the kids, or with the babysitter, or like she goes, I don't know what the exact question would be. She goes, she always struggles to come up with what the right question is, and it's not a question that is like a big long answer, but it's like, one word kind of answer questions to get people to respond and create the conversation. That's what kind of helps drive things. Yeah, that's it. That's my chicken scratch notes.
Very similar to what I do. So what? So you walked away with a positive, tentative feeling?
Oh yeah, very positive. Like she'll basically do whatever she can to put it out there.
Yeah.
She didn't really say her reputation's on the line, but she seemed to be really big on the testing, like make sure it works kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was so much for her reputation or our reputation or a combination of both. but that was kind of a theme. But she said, yeah, she's willing to do the newsletter and willing to do, and she was saying she does a swag box promotion. She didn't really say what frequency, but she's got one coming up, and she goes, I think I'd rather do you outside of the swag box because it'll get lost with all the other stuff. But basically, yeah, newsletter and Instagram. And she said she'd do Instagram repeatedly, like a number of times or whatever. So
That's amazing.
it's yeah, it was all good. And she said I was explaining to her the use cases, like the stuff with Olga, with her mom and the language thing, and
Yep.
wanting to record her baby, and then like the photo feedback with Jason's wife and stuff. So yeah, it was all good and all positive. And she asked me to send her the thing, so I sent her the deck, and I said I'd love to get your feedback on what you think of the website and the Facebook group and the commercials. So yeah, it was good all around, feeling really, really good about it.
Yeah, I just thought to myself,
She did think the $4.99 was the right price point.
Yep.
She didn't really offer an opinion. Like I was explaining to her that we were, $9.99 with a frequent discount to get to $4.99. She thought you're not going to sell much at $9.99. She didn't really say anything about whether it's better to be $4.99 or $9.99 with the 50% discount. But she asked you, she said, do we have the capability of testing different things? And I said, yeah, we can set up different pages and different price points and stuff. So it sounded like she was more worried about our limitations on our side of executing different stuff than hers.
I have a feeling that the fact that you're always answering, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. So, I made it clear too, like when I was talking about the app, I said, some of the feedback we've had was like narrating right in the app or editing pictures in the app. And so that's, the app is very simple. It does a very simple function. And I said, we're positioning it as like, almost like, why would you want this app to do things that your other apps already do? Like,
yeah, why would you want the added complexity?
Yeah, it's just, you record your narration on your recording app and upload it into this app. You take your picture and edit your picture in your picture app and then upload it into this app. So it's all very smooth. What are you laughing at?
I'm sweating bullets, man. I'm just there's a part of me that goes, oh shit, what if this doesn't work?
Oh, that's a possibility.
That's a possibility always.
Well, I haven't got the feeling from anyone that's used it that they've been pumping our tires for the sake of pumping our tires.
Yeah, I don't think anyone, at the very least, no one feels that this is kind of a stupid idea.
Yeah, no one said this is stupid, I would never use this, or like whatever. So I think that's a good sign. My brother, when I talked to my brother yesterday, he said he goes, when you're ready, we'll buy the app and we'll use it, and we'll take videos of our kids using it and put it on Fogos and stuff. So, and he doesn't want any money, but which is fine. I'm happy to take all the money.
That's true.
So yeah, maybe that's a good place to start. Although the other complexity with him is they're just about to move into a new house at the end of the month on June 30th. So they're in the process of packing up their current house, and they already own the other house, so they've been renovating and stuff. So they're back and forth from Waterdown to Port Colborne, and they're running their business in the meantime. So the next couple of weeks aren't going to be ideal for them.
Does your brother have an app for a business?
No, He doesn't want an app. I mean, I offered to build him a web page, but they run their business off of Instagram.
Mhm.
And it's all very manual. But he's doing, what did he say? I can't remember if it was 150 or 250 pizzas a week.
A lot.
So he's making whatever, either 150 or 250 pizzas a week. Plus they're selling, so it's homemade from scratch doughs.
That's a lot of work.
All the ingredients, all the packaging. Plus they were making loaves of sourdough bread. They were making fresh squeezed lemonade. They made that a few times. They've had different cookies or different roasted
Sounds like a
almonds.
lot of work for low margin.
Yeah. Well, it's not cheap. Like a loaf of bread is $8.
What's the cost to produce it? Labor, delivery,
And his margin is like 80%
What?
on the whole program.
Jesus Christ! How does he get away with that? How does? Oh wow!
Well,
good economics.
that's 80% margin off like food costs. So it's not net margin like after
Okay.
Packaging, labor, everything.
Yeah.
So like his ingredients cost him 20% of the total.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's great. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean. I figured out why you couldn't see family. You should see family now.
Okay.
Apparently, because you and I were testing and then deleting and testing and deleting.
Yeah.
Google was adding rows to the very bottom of the sheet. You had to scroll 1,000 rows down to see the new entries.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Does that mean you yeah, there's the family now. Craig Fisher, done. Books. There's my books. There's my family. Go back, choose family. Vadim, done. There's the other family. That's awesome.
Now,
you
Greg, when you're in my family, click on the book, click on edit, and see if there's a delete button there.
when I click on a book, there's a delete button.
There's a delete button, right?
Yeah. Is there supposed to be?
No, when you're in my family, you're supposed to be user ST. So
Okay.
that's one thing I've.
The other thing on my family I noticed.
Yep.
I'll go back and see if it's still like this.
Yep.
Was my daughter was showing up as dad instead of sister.
Really? Go ahead.
No, she's now sister. Oh no, she's still dad on the screen. Narrated by.
Okay.
But on like if I go to family,
Yep.
shows up as sister.
Yep.
So it must just be referring to the wrong field or something.
Yeah. Let me see that for a quick sec. Testing is great. So it's if I view it as you, as Greg, right?
And go into
sorry, it's Greg. Yeah. Choose family and
if you go into under the ground, go into the book Under the Ground.
Yep. Narrated by. Yep.
It's her picture, but it says dad and dad.
Narrator's relationship. Let me take a look. Relationship to user, relationship to child. Narrations. Veronica's narration is. Indeed, it does say that. Why? Hold on. Look
We're
up
going to family, it shows her as sister.
in relation to books. Oh shit. I know why. I know why. Who added the book?
I added it.
Of course. It wasn't her who added the book. And that creates a problem. Because this is looking up relationship to child. Yeah, it's looking up whoever added the book. Yeah, it's looking up you. So if you add the book, but Veronica adds the narration, it's going to say that it is.
Well, I added the book and the narration, but I assigned the narration to her. But
Yeah.
I
as a user. Okay.
I was the user who added it.
Yeah. So then in narrations, it should be looking up. Relationship to user. So who is the user? Okay, what do we, it's based on lookup, edit relationship to books. Okay, relationships to user, edit. Relationships to child. Okay, now what does it say?
Will it update right away?
Should be.
Still says dad. You want, let me go out and go back in.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say anything now on that screen.
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But when I pick her, it still says dad underneath her picture.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Why don't I just, oh, maybe we do need it. Look up book cover.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The easiest solution is just not to label it, but
Yeah. Yeah, because really, okay. Wait, hold on. Where did it all go? Yeah, narrations. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna figure this out. It's all of a sudden, as soon as I changed it, it now no longer wants to pick up that field. So relationship to narrations. Yeah, in narrations, I should be able to, oh, of course, because I changed it here. Yeah, I changed it here. Edit. This is relationship to books. Look up narration relationship, done. Added by email. Yeah. Relationships to user Veronica. Can I just not use relationship to users then? Yeah, yeah. I get it. So you want to know who added the narration.
You don't want to know who
Did you-
added it. You want to know who
Yeah.
did it.
But when, sorry, I think the problem here is when you were adding the narration, you were still logged in as Greg, right?
Yeah.
So Veronica would have never added the narration under your name.
No, but I added Veronica.
Yeah,
And
but
then when,
you didn't open the app as Veronica.
no,
You continued adding narration as you.
yeah. But when you add the narration, you're picking a book and the person
Yes.
and then uploading the narration. So
Yeah.
my thinking would be that it
But
should
you should be able
create
to
the relation to the person you picked from the list,
Yeah, that
not the
makes-
person who physically added it.
narrated by. It should have narrated by.
And when I say it should, I mean that's logically how you would want it to work. I don't mean it should,
Yes.
because it should only do that if that's the way it's programmed. I used to sit in offices at Loblaws with these old meat guys
Mhm.
when we first went on the what they called the Westfair system, which was the kick system for Y2K. And they'd sit there and they talk to each other and go, oh, well, it should do this and it should do that. I go, fuck, guys, do you guys know anything about programming? They're like, no. I go, well, then what are you talking about? You don't know. You're asking a hole in the ground. Like, what it should do logically means nothing. What it should do is what it's programmed to do, which you don't know anything about. So why are you even wasting your time talking to each other when neither of you know anything about how it's programmed?
You were an angry motherfucker.
But they'd sit there and convince themselves that, oh, this is how the system should work. I'm like, you guys have just landed on the logic as a user, how you think it should work. It has no bearing on how it actually works, but they're making the leap from this is how I think it should work. So why isn't it working that way? It just used to drive me crazy.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. So yeah, when you do select the narration, you select a name from the user table.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, shit, it's not. So if I were to, so the data I'm populating into the narration document is not.
Like I would, for this version, if it's easier just to gas the label on that screen, on both those screens. So on the family screen, it shows properly that she's sister.
Yeah, because it's reading from that table. I know.
But when I pick
It's you. Actually, it is you who screwed this up. Hold on, let me stop the video. This is not helpful.